Hello, business builders. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And so today, this is a special edition of the Business Plugs Mixer because I have exciting news for you. And I want to make sure that you get it. So go ahead and like wherever you see it, subscribe, hit bells to make sure you get notifications. Normally, we're on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but we didn't come on this Sunday. Did you miss us? Well, we didn't come on this Sunday, but we're here today. And so go ahead and like, subscribe, be a part of this, and lean in because you're going to learn some things about online learning. I'm so excited about my guest. And before I get to her, I want to tell you that if you are a business, let's say you are a minority, you're a woman, you are a veteran, or you are someone who is disabled and you're a business owner, there are certifications that you can get, and I'm helping you to get those. In addition to that, I am helping businesses find out how to get that grant money, right? I saw a post today where somebody had copied a check and they had used Photoshop and made it look real, right? It was for $1 million. It was $1 million SBA grant that they can help you get, right? And the thing about that is it, to the novice, to someone who's not paying attention, it looks like it's a real check, right? And so 168 people were like, tell me more about it. Tell me more about it. Don't get don't get scammed. Don't get scammed. Get in my inbox and let me help you get the real grant money, the real grant way. Because nobody's giving $1 million if you don't have an EIN or LLC or something, some kind of business structure. Nobody's giving out $1 million like that. We wish they would because we would be in line too. But that's what we're doing. So all my housekeeping things are done. Welcome to the Business Plugs Mixer on a Thursday, just so that you can get this information because it's that important. I want you to get lifted. This year we are going higher together. And so we're doing this all year long. We're going higher together. So I'd like to introduce you to my buddy, my friend, the owner and founder of Success Bully. I was going to say business. I don't even know. The owner and founder of Success Bully, my accountability partner, my girl, KEITA Williams. Hey, KEITA.
Hey, Linda. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to see you. Listen.
We saw each other and we immediately knew that, hey.
Oh, like that one right there? Mm-hmm. That one right there. I'm collecting her. Y'all are cool, but Linda. So I just have to give you some flowers and just tell you how much I appreciate you and how much you have made an impact. We've only known each other for a short while, but you've made such an impact in the sense of just pointing me in the right direction, lovingly pointing me in the right direction, so lovingly, but then celebrating with me. And so I want you to know that means the world to me. And especially in a space where, we're both building businesses and helping others build. Yeah. That there are times where you feel like you're giving, and there are very few people that pour into you. So I want to celebrate you for making time to not only be my accountability partner, but also to be like a coach and mentor and share your audience with me. I think that, in this space of growth and in this time of growth, that it takes a whole village. It takes a whole village to build a business. It takes a whole village.
I've said that for years. Yes, ma'am, it does. It takes a village to build a business the right way.
The right way. Yes.
You can build it by yourself, but that would not.
No, you can't be. Sometimes it feels like you're on an island where you're on this island by yourself trying to build your business. But truly it does require a community and investing in building meaningful relationships and being able to just call and say, oh yeah, that last week wasn't a week. Last week was not.
Girl, we've had some weeks.
We got some weeks. It could be. But so I'm very excited to be here. I think I could give just a little bit of background on why I'm yelling on the internet. So this is lucky number 7. This is our 7th year in business. So I'm super excited. I started Success Bully. I don't think that I'm an accidental entrepreneur is the best way to describe it. I would say that I was that kid that always had some little project going on. I was selling and I always had something going on as a kid, and even in college, I always had multiple jobs, but always had a little hustle, always something. And so
that kid making money.
I was that kid. And my mom would encourage it too, right? Yeah,
Come
go
on.
ahead. Yeah, whatever, go ahead. And so when I started Successfully, I had kind of gotten to this place where my corporate career had been kind of derailed, and it was just like weird stuff going on. One of those, and Linda, you and I talked about this, where you're like, I don't know what's going on right now. And so
whatever this is,
it's a season, and this season will pass.
Exactly.
But I actually said it as a joke, but I happened to be in a room full of women entrepreneurs. So it was at the F-Bomb Breakfast Club, which is also celebrating its 7th year. And like at the time, I wasn't what I would consider an entrepreneur. I was trying to figure out my next corporate move. And I had started working with my friends where we were doing all these goal setting exercises with one another. And I was the accountability partner. I was the one that put everybody's stuff in the calendar. You couldn't call me with your love life updates. I wanted to know where you were with your goals. So in sharing what I was doing with my friends in this room full of entrepreneurs, I said, I'm like a success bully. Let me know if you want me to kick your butt too. I was totally joking. And after the event, several women walked up to me like, that's a good idea. You should do something with it. And my immediate response was, I say witty and funny things all the time. That doesn't mean it's a business. That doesn't mean that this is a viable business idea. Well, nevertheless, one of my good friends, Kelly, who's been a champion and mentor of mine since that moment in time and continues to really show up and support, walked up to me with her phone and said, whenever I hear a good idea, I look to see if the URL is available. Successbully.com is available. If you don't buy it, I'm going to buy it, and you'll have to buy it from me. So the Success Bully got bullied, right? And I went home and I bought the URL, and that's literally how it started.
I love
and
it.
Then, what I thought it would be 7 years ago.
I love it.
Versus what it is. When you start your business, you have these, you write this lovely business plan, which
granular ideas.
Yeah, grandiose. It's a construct. It's a good jumping off point. And this is why I tell people, unless you are going for outside funding right out of the gate, your business plan is, boiling down your ideas so that it's a roadmap, but you have to be flexible about the roadmap.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's a live document.
It's a living document. It is it's a number of things. It's a good exercise, so you're not just spinning around like a little top.
Yeah.
But
yeah, indeed.
But your business evolves too, because there have been times in the last few years where I've come up with some really amazing ideas, and then we go execute on them, and I'm like, never, not no more. I'm going to quadruple negative. I don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah, never again. Never again. Do this. No.
That's going to be a hard no for me.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's what I've loved about entrepreneurship is it's dynamic and it can change. And like in the time, half of the time I've been in business, we've been living in these really weird times of, COVID-19 that collapsed 3 years on itself, and what that initially did and how that changed the way we do business. And then 2023 and the macroeconomics going on with that, like
iterations, right? Everything is about iterations. Like things are, and so in this business, it to be in business right now means you have to have multi-layered plans. You have to have multi-layered plan because every year is a different year. I said we were in Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji. Shake the dice. Let's see what happens. Jumanji, though. Yup, that's accurate, Linda. Yup. Well, I also think that like you also have to be resilient.
Oh yeah.
Flexible and resilient, because I think that, you know, what we have to be adaptable to what's actually happening in the market, right? Which is most of the time out of our scope of control. And what I say, and I'm going to look dead into the camera. Let me look into some people's souls here.
Soul searching.
I'm looking in your soul. Remember why you started?
Yeah.
Right? Remember why you started this business, but also remember that you control showing up. You control showing up, right? And some days that is really challenging, but showing up is half the battle. If you're sitting on your couch going, I don't know what to do with this business, and you know, watching Netflix and really frustrated without taking any action, you cannot be surprised when you don't have the results, right?
You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be. There are times where you're doing all the right things and the timing is off.
Yeah.
But when it starts hitting.
Exactly. You know, I look at how business owners can be so consumed about KEITA Williams and what he said than they are about how many sales I made this week.
That's a whole sermon.
I'm like, no.
or the vanity metrics, right? Like getting caught up in the vanity metrics. And I think it's great to those things are important, but what's your P&L looking like? What's your sales pipeline looking like? You know, like what partnerships are you moving forward? Like, you know, I'm really excited to be in this space where the relationships that we've cultivated for years are really showing up to support the growth.
Yeah.
Right. And that what's been more valuable, especially in these I don't want to say unprecedented times, because I feel like we're getting to the it's been said so much, it's getting to the cliche.
It's just unpredictable. Just you know, don't predict.
I'm literally going to call it Jumanji going forward. Literally, it's a game of Jumanji. But that having a great network, nurturing those relationships. So even like today, which is a great segue into what we're working on. So today we launched our first on-demand course with O'Reilly Media, and O'Reilly is a learning platform that more than 5,000 companies count on for digital courses to guide their teams with tools and technology. Our course sits into the business vertical. And so it's a course for first-time managers all around goal setting, especially as it comes to that first performance review. So like new managers. And so why this is important is, it's about relationships where, you know, the way that I started working with O'Reilly, I was with my other good friend, Linda. We were at an event and there were some trainers. Linda's a good name. Good. You always count on the Linda. There was a handout that said something like, O'Reilly's looking for trainers. Submit your information here.
Yeah.
And Linda says to me, this was like year 1, maybe year 1.5 of Successfully. So I don't know what I was doing. Readily can admit that. Linda was like, you should submit. I think you'd be a really great instructor. You should really submit. So I run home, send an email. Cut to, I started doing these live trainings, right? I started doing live trainings because our area of expertise is goal setting and accountability. And whether that is in the coaching discipline with our one-on-one clients, or in our corporate trainings where we're training managers and teams on how to set meaningful goals, how to break them down, how to actually set a SMART goal. You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do that. And what's the execution look like? How do you give and receive feedback? How do you set up your coaching conversations? What does all of that look like? And so to kind of start doing these live trainings, and we did those for a couple years, and then, you know, twists and turns, everybody's figuring things out during the pandemic. And I get an email. I want to say it was like July of last year. And like, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And it was these relationships I built a few years ago doing facilitation, where it circles around like, hey, your name was passed on to me. Would you be interested in doing this? And it's been an amazing experience building. Like, I've built online courses in our space where it's completely Success Bully branded, where it's what I want to talk about when I want to talk about it. And so to kind of shift and have to work in partnership, right? Like, what does this look like? How do we speak the same language? How do we make sure that we're creating a body of work that the audience will enjoy and get something out of? And so it was a really awesome experience in the development process, right? So it took a few months to develop it. And so today it's actually live. It's live and it's happening. And it has been phenomenal to see how the O'Reilly team has supported the launch, especially my editorial team that I worked with. They have been phenomenal. And just, I got a congratulatory email. It's just like, I feel loved seen and supported, but also my network, my network has amplified it, including special shout out to my mama.
Oh, hey, mama.
A special shout out to my mama, who got help from my older sister to post that she was proud of me on the course launch. So
I love that.
Listen, I have arrived, y'all. My mama posted today. But even, talking to my friends and business partners, saying, hey, this is coming up. I would really appreciate if you would support it. It would mean the world to me if you would like, comment, share. And seeing this morning, my phone was just doop, 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 doop. Like, it was alert after alert after alert.
Love it.
And
as it should. And
it felt so good. And so I'm not trying not to get mistake, but just like, especially sometimes you're working in this vacuum, right? And sometimes you feel like what you're investing in building your business, the wherewithal to go through the highs and the lows. There are times when you're like, I'm gonna grab my passport, I'm gonna burn all this down, and I'm gonna start a new life. Like, I'm gonna grab my dog and my passport, I'm gonna start a new life. Right? And to have this overwhelming positive response from people that I absolutely adore, who have supported my journey from, making a joke 7 years ago to showing up in these spaces that are, international platforms that serve a very large community, and what I envision for the business in the future, where I want to take things, that seeing those, I believe Oprah called it God winks, where like you get those little validations that you're going in the right direction. Yeah. It's like, I am eternally grateful and so excited. And I can see that all of the hard work, all of sometimes you cry. Sometimes you cry in entrepreneurship. You cry less over time because you bounce back. You get out in what do they call it? The pit of entrepreneurial despair. There is a trough of despair, they call it. So like year 1, it was a lot of crying. Year 2 is less crying. Year 3 to 6 was like, let's roll. Yeah. And this year it's more joy. It's tears of joy versus tears of despair. Let's put it that way. And so everyone go check that out.
Absolutely.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Please do. Please do. So
So
we can get them in there, because that's the thing, is we want them to have the experience of getting to understand what you do and what online learning is. And I love, 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 love that is directed for first time managers, because a lot of the people that follow me are first time business owners. So that knowledge is very important to them, especially if they're managing people for the first time.
Oh yes. I will say that, and even managing people for the first time, when you start building a team as an entrepreneur, there are no guardrails. Right? Where in your corporate setting, the strategy is mapped out, levels above you.
Yeah.
You know, their systems and protocols. There is HR infrastructure. The things are laid out for you. The coaching part of the people skills, the soft skills, you have to kind of figure out on your own.
Oh, yeah.
But the goals are kind of handed to you for the most part, right?
Exactly.
In your own space.
Baby. And the Department of Labor is not trying to play with you.
No.
So yeah, like they come with those $10,000 fines. They don't know how to play nice.
No, you don't want none of that. And so I think that it is always valuable, whether you are a leader in corporate or a leader in your own space, that very few people are born with leadership skills. Yeah. Very few people are born with coaching skills. Very few people are born with these amazing interpersonal skills. Very few people are just out of the box, fresh out of the package. They know how to do these things. Very few people, 95% of people lack self-awareness.
Exactly.
And so, like, I do think that it's worth taking time to develop these skills, right?
Yes.
And what I love about this course, I don't waste no time. You know, like I am a productivity hack queen. You see my talk about, you get wax poetically about to-do lists.
This girl is like, well, I have an idea. I need a planner. Oh, that sends out a complete daily planner with no more than 6 goals, with your to-do list, I'm like, wait a minute. This one right here, I need a tracker. Tracker with 5 tabs, a 90, 60, 30-day check-in. Like, you don't come to play.
No.
I love that about you. I love that about you. Like, you don't come to play. You are already strapped and booted. Like, you already...
Oh, like, what you want to do what now? That's why I tell my friends, don't tell me about your goals. You got to be real careful with me, because I got a mind like a steel trap. You'll mention it, and then we go casually be out at brunch, and I'll be like, so where you at with? You got to be careful what you share with me.
I tell you what, if people want to get productive, if you need accountability, if you need tools to help keep you account, this one here, just mention it. Just mention whatever it is. And I've seen her, and I just sit back and look at it, and I'm like, we mentioned tracker 3, no.
Like, boop, here you go, ladies.
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay.
Like, did you just make that, or did you have that? And
then we're in another meeting, and somebody mentions, I really like to make a daily list. List? Oh, well, wait a minute. I'm like, this girl is better than Franklin Planner. She is out here playing no games, taking no prisoners. She's out here, has these tools to help businesses run smoothly. I am not. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild one. My waxing poetically about like to-do list. Just, I guess we should share with everybody what happened. And so we're on this call, and you know, we're in this community of women supporting one another. And someone mentioned about like their really long to-do list and feeling overwhelmed, and it just, you know, it's a casual conversation. And you know, I put my digital hand up because My to-do list isn't longer than 6 things. Like,
she like, wait a minute.
Period. Stop.
No, your to-do list is not rolling over the next day.
And I don't even call them to-dos. They're my priorities. This week I had one priority the whole week. and just like stop rolling that balance of unfinished things to the next day, when really, especially when you're the CEO, when you're the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, you are the CMO, the CFO, the CTO, you are delivery, you are sales, you are marketing, you're all these things. And there's a lot of plates to spin, in addition to have a family, live a life, take care of your friends, take care of yourself. That's a lot of plate spinning at one time. When you think of things as priorities, then that immediately shifts it from action to what is most strategic, what is the highest and best use of your time.
Absolutely.
And of those things, for my entrepreneurs out there, of that abbreviated list of priorities, what of these things actually drive revenue?
Yes.
What is moving revenue the needle for you?
Absolutely. Right. And I love when you say, okay, so what are your money generating hours?
What are your money making activities? What are you doing to make some money today? Oh, Linda.
I love it. You are, if anybody who's listening to us feel like they are overwhelmed, right? Mm-hmm. Because in entrepreneurship, there are days when you're like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Because life still lives.
In addition to
your entrepreneur world, which can go from one mood to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are the person for them. But talk about what that looks like from your side.
From my side, so the way that I work with my clients, I try to, I don't work with clients my clients, it's 6 months minimum. Mm-hmm. So I try to work with them 6 months to a year, generally speaking, because, our first 90 days is going to be about habit formation, right? It's going to be like, what do we need to shift, and what getting you clear about your priorities and starting to get some traction there. Then our next chunk of time together is about optimization, right? And so I think that where I feel like I kind of own the space in coaching is like, you don't need 75 goals. What's the one high impact goal that we're going for? And, what are our priorities to get there? Right. So we don't have to overcomplicate things, but also we can be flexible. Because I think, again, with it being like Jumanji in the market right now, I'm going to be wearing that out for the next 6 to 8 weeks, y'all. Say it like I said it too, Linda. I might footnote Linda said. I don't know. But you have to be in a place where you can adapt.
Absolutely.
Right? You have to be in a place where you can adapt. And it's 80% mindset, 20% execution. So alongside, the goal tracking activity and having these really transparent accountability check-ins. Like, I'm talking to you every week. Did you do what you said you was going to do last week?
Yeah. And we do that. I mean, we are accountability partners, mm-hmm. and we have those check-ins, and we know that life happens and people do mm-hmm. things and we get off schedule, but we get back on schedule quickly. So we don't make excuses for, I didn't get to check in this week. Like, it's as important mm-hmm. as me breathing air. I need to check in.
Oh, absolutely. And check in on the goal.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so besides having that built-in accountability, you also have to look at the goal, keep the goal in front of you, because you can be real busy. You can be real busy. And this is whether you're in corporate, out of corporate, whatever, consulting, whatever you doing.
Life.
You can be lifing. You can get real busy and fill up your whole calendar and your whole day and have no impact.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is wasteful energy. And a lot of times, like you said, I think you even said in that meeting, I think I remember you saying, that's why you feel like you have no time, because you're doing these meaningless things that zaps your energy. So you have no energy to be productive.
That's a whole sermon. Linda said it. I didn't. Linda repeated it.
Because I remember hearing that, and I thought, how much sense does that make? Is that a lot of times we're worn out because we're doing things that do not add value to our lives and our goals.
Yeah. And you can uncomplicate a lot of things when you have a little more tunnel vision about it. Yeah. Like, this was an amazing week. Yeah. Because I had one thing. And anybody that called me, they got told about the one thing. You like, this is the one thing I'm working on. I need you to support the one thing. But I look at stuff and go, that's not in alignment with the one thing that I said I was going to accomplish this week. Yes, there's many moving parts to the one thing, but being able to triage, like, no, I actually cannot be the event planner on us getting together for dinner right now.
Yeah. Focused.
Well, the one thing.
Yeah. And that takes peeling back and deciding what is important. So I am a list maker. I'm a list maker. I have to have things that, like, there are times when I get overwhelmed because there's so many things that need to be done. And there are some days that I don't have the mental space to do it. Like this whole COVID dance is a whole long dance, right?
Right.
So some days are not like other days. And on those days that are not like other days, I know that things are steady piling up. But I don't have the bandwidth to go in and start chopping them down. So what I have to do is make lists so that I know that they're there, but I'm not dealing with them today. Because today is about self-care.
Oh, listen.
Because if I don't get my mask on first, this whole plane going down.
In a fiery blaze of glory. I think that what I would add to that is, we have to give ourselves grace and space.
Oh yeah.
Grace and space that most things worth having, most goals worth achieving, most big ambitions are not going to be done overnight.
Exactly.
They are a process. Yes. And when you're having one of those days, and we all have those days where you're like, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Pick one, do one thing.
Yeah.
Because the doing the one consistently will have a compound effect rather than throwing your hands in the air and saying, I ain't got it, and not touching it.
And not touching any of it for week. No,
and not touching any.
That's not even negotiable, because the bulk of what I allow in my life is I allow myself 24 hours. Every now and then I need 24 hours. And so for 24 hours, I get to feel whatever it is, right? Because I'm a living specimen. And so I want to feel all the feelings. And so I'm not trying to suppress any of them. I want to feel. I'm human. But after that 24 hours, I got to get back up and get to work. I got things to do, places to be, people to see.
So you give yourself like a deadline. You're like, I have this amount of time to dedicate to these feelings. I'll put it in my planner.
Next. We're moving right along. This is a part of real life. And I love the fact, I looked at a quote from Viola Davis that somebody posted, and it talked about how she shows up like she shows up because she wants real women to understand that a real person is walking they can too. Like sometimes we glamorize, entrepreneurship, yay. And then people get in it and they'll be like, nobody told me this. Because it is a rock and roll show some days.
All in one day, you could have a high and a soul-crushing low within 90 seconds.
Within minutes.
Yeah.
Within minutes.
I also think the muscle that I'm really proud that I've built in the last few years is that muscle around that, or being buoyant, being bouncy, that like the the high highs, I don't do too big a victory lap on the high highs, and I don't lay on the fainting couch with the low lows, right? Because I think like the first couple years of business, if I didn't get that contract, or that speaking engagement fell through, or something like that, I would, I'm just not meant to be an entrepreneur, and I'd lie on the fainting couch for far too long. Or, I get this big win and I'd be running around the block too long doing a victory lap about either way, you got to get back to work.
Exactly.
High, low, you got to get back to it.
Yeah, exactly. So understanding that, and that's the thing. I was answering a pitch I made the other night, and it asked you about, are you one of those people that just work, or are you actually into self-care?
Mm-hmm.
And self-care, you have to know who you are. Mm-hmm. To be a good entrepreneur. You have to know some things about yourself, and mm-hmm. you have to call your truth your truth. And that I'm not claiming it mentality, I'm not going to claim that. That's not who I am. Claim it, honey, if it's who you are. and then work on, how do I manage it instead of allowing it to manage me?
Yes. Whole sermon. I am embracing, and I got this from one of my personal coaches, that we've earned the right to be in ease and flow. Mm. And so my days of working hard, I work hard, I work smart.
Yeah.
Right. And my version of self-care is daily discipline. Right. And mm-hmm. that is, I need 90 minutes of KEITA time before I deal with anybody else. And like, sometimes that's prayer, that's meditation, that's walking, that's taking my dog for a walk, that's getting on my bike, that's it. But it's 90 minutes to myself. And it doesn't matter what part of the world I'm in, or what time zone I'm on, or what high priority meetings I have. I'm doing that 90 minutes. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that having that protocol, that like, it doesn't matter, I'm going to wake up earlier if I have to, to get my 90 minutes in. That has been a game changer for me. And then I can face the day, and there are days where like, hey, I did great, this was a great day. And then there are days where you're like, I'm glad that's over. Yeah. And either way, tomorrow I'm doing my 90 minutes of self-care.
Exactly. Exactly. And so understanding that, and understanding all the different nuances mm-hmm. that go in entrepreneurship. Like, it's a ride. It is indeed a ride. And, like you said, high highs and low lows, and somewhere in between. And most days you try to keep it between those two polar opposites. But
yes,
you have to understand that, to the point, online learning can help you to mm-hmm. get where you need to be. Mm-hmm. In this chat, wherever you're watching it, there's a link to connect with KEITA and talk to her about the online training that she has just put into the universe, put into the world, to help people who are first-time managers. Because what I learned, my own experience about being a first-time manager, is it comes with no training. It's pretty much, there's your job, learn it.
Congratulations on your promotion.
And I remember running back to my senior manager and saying, oh my gosh, how do I handle this? This is ridiculous. Like, what? Who are these people? And I had a department of 73 people, right? And when I first got that position, he was like, Linda, you're the manager. That's going to be your decision. And so, first-time managers, this is support for you, because whether you're in corporate or whether you're hiring your first teammates, mm-hmm. this right here mm-hmm. is going to be paramount for you. You're going to need this, and you're going to thank us later. You're going to say, oh, thank you. Now I know what to do and how to do it. And you're going to feel so educated. You probably go in and just train your whole team. And some of them may not be may not be new. You may want to share it with them and say, hey, I took this training, and hey, my life is better. Because I promise you, if you're a first-time manager that has never led people, you're going to be in for a ride.
It's an experience.
It's a ride about to happen, and I can promise you that, because it is. You're dealing with how many ever people you have. That's how many ever personalities that you have to herd like cattle.
Well, personalities, different motivations, different value systems,
All of that,
all of that. And then, each one of us has a life, and sometimes your whole team, their life could be lifing.
Yeah.
And everybody could have stuff going on outside of work. And how do you develop people, right? Because
that part,
besides, working with the team to establish goals, right, or to execute on those goals, how are you helping them develop into their roles and their ambitions? How are you helping them develop the skill sets for the next step in their career and their journey, right?
Absolutely.
Some of my favorite managers and mentors had like really frank conversations with me about, where do you want to go?
Exactly.
What is it that you want out of this? And how can we make that part of your experience within this organization? Like, so you see yourself here, what roadmap can we put together to get you there? So absolutely. I think that you have the ability to inspire, encourage, and help develop. So I think as a new manager, it's so important to develop those skills for yourself so that you can show up as the best version possible for your direct reports.
Absolutely. And you are not just touching the life of the person sitting in the seat before you. You're actually changing the dynamics for families. Like you are doing generational redirection.
Oh, absolutely. And when you think about like the managers that you've had, or the leaders that you've had that were really inspiring and awesome, didn't you take some of that their leadership skills and apply them as you grew as a leader?
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like learning. You ask the question, what is it that you want? I would ask my staff, all 73 of them. I had one-on-one meetings with them, and I was like, so tell me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it was amazing. Over 90% of them said no one had ever asked them that. And they were like, I never really thought about it. I just came to work and I just do my job. But they never thought about, you're a whole person.
Right. With hopes, dreams, and aspirations.
Yeah. And you have children and grandchildren and people on the outside watching you and seeing how you show up. And so are you showing up fully? I gave my staff permission to come to work as a whole.
That's huge.
So you didn't lose part of it at home. Well, I can't be like that here because Linda requires just the work part of me.
Right.
But understanding that, and so this training, I've just put the link in the comments. So if you're watching this, go ahead and copy and put that in your browser, and go and learn more about this O'Reilly training that's going to change your life. If you are a manager, a new manager, and even if you are a veteran manager that pretty much had to develop yourself.
Trial by fire.
If that's you and you're overwhelmed, and there are times you feel like the job is leading you, the tail is wagging the dog instead of the dog wagging the tail, then look into this. Like, jump in and look it around and see this is a solution for the person that's watching this that feels overwhelmed by this new position. Yay, like after the clap stop, it's time to do the work. So
after the clap stop, I love it. So many notable quotables, Linda. Many
Linda-isms. I have Linda-isms. And
listen, you're on the quote board for 2024 multiple times already, and it's only the second week of February. So good on you. Good on you.
I have Linda-isms. My students love them. And so, but that's what it is this is resolved for you if you are looking for a strategy, if you're looking for a solution to help you to become the best manager in this new position, whether you're an entrepreneur who's getting ready to hire teammates, or you just received your promotion and now you're going to manage some of the people you used to work beside. That is a whole thing.
Yes, it is. That's a whole nother live stream.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So, yeah, as we close, would you please give us whatever point you would like the person watching this video to take away from this conversation?
Well, I would say big take home here is you got this. If no one's told you you're awesome and you're smart and you are driven and you are operating in excellence, I'm going to tell you today you're doing great. Okay, if nobody told you that, number one. Number two, go ahead. We have the link. The landing page for the online course. If you don't have access to a subscription to O'Reilly, it gives you a 10-day free subscription. So you can take the course, but also you can check out their other trainings and perhaps skill up, because it is a multi-dimensional platform. And then finally, follow me. Follow Success Bully. It's all on brand. We got the Instagram, the Twitter, we got the Facebook, the LinkedIn. Sometimes I make a special guest appearance on TikTok. You never know. But connect with us and stand by, because we're going to be rolling out some new and exciting partnerships throughout the year and content to grow, to help you grow. So I'm excited about that. And once again, thank you for having me, Linda. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug, and I just plugged you in to Success Bully. You all have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.